Since 1951, the NHRA has stood as the ultimate battleground where man and machine fuse into one. A world where thunder lives in the fuel and legends are born in fire. As the sun rises over the drag strip, heat waves shimmer across the asphalt, and the air vibrates with the ghostly echo of engines waiting to awaken. Crews tighten bolts, helmets lock into place, and for a moment, the world holds its breath. Among these titans of speed stands one man who didn't just chase victory, he mastered chaos itself. His name is Ron Capps, a champion who turned a driver's dream into an empire. Behind the wheel of his Napa Auto Parts Toyota GR Supra funny car, Capps commands a machine so powerful it can cover a quarter mile in under 4 seconds, roaring past 330 miles per hour in a blur of smoke and flame. From the fury of nitromethane to the stillness of focus, he became more than a racer. He became the man who mastered fire, rising through the nitro clouds. Before the world knew his name, Ron Capps was just another young man standing at the edge of a drag strip, watching his heroes tear through the quarter mile. He did not come from money or sponsorships, he came from grit. Born in San Luis Obispo, California, Capps spent his youth surrounded by the sound of engines and the smell of fuel. His fascination was not only with speed, but with how these wild machines worked. How a small change in timing, traction, or temperature could decide victory or defeat. In his early 20s, he worked wherever he could in the world of racing, tuning cars, cleaning parts, and learning from anyone who would teach him. His first major opportunity came when he joined the crew of the legendary Top Fuel driver Don Prudhomme. It was here that Capps learned the true rhythm of NHRA racing, the teamwork, the precision, and the constant battle against physics itself. Eventually, he earned his place behind the wheel. By the mid-1990s, Ron Capps was driving for some of the most respected teams in drag racing. He faced enormous pressure, going up against legends like John Force and Tony Pedregon. But race by race, Capps built his name through calm focus and fearless consistency. While others chased records, he chased perfection. Every pass down the strip was a study in control. The roar of nitromethane, the vibration of the car, and the split-second decisions that could make or break a career. His dedication paid off. Capps began collecting wins, not through luck, but through sheer discipline. He learned that in NHRA, talent gets you to the starting line, but focus takes you across the finish. This philosophy became his trademark, and would later define him not only as a driver, but as a leader and team owner. The road to glory. By the early 2000s, Ron Capps had become more than just a skilled racer. He had become a name that fans shouted from the stands. Every time he rolled his funny car to the starting line, the crowd knew they were about to witness something special. Behind that calm face was a man whose heart raced at the same rhythm as the engine he commanded.
15th year with Napa Auto Parts, and you never imagine.
His Napa Auto Parts team was strong, disciplined, and focused on one goal: to win the NHRA championship. For C. Capps, every race was a test of patience and precision. The funny car class is known as one of the most unpredictable and dangerous forms of racing in the world. These cars are short, wide, and powered by engines that can produce more than 11,000 horsepower. They burn nitromethane fuel so volatile that even a small mistake can cause an explosion. But inside that chaos, Capps found his balance. He treated every run as a dance between control and power. One wrong move, and it would all be over. His persistence paid off. After years of close finishes and heartbreaks, Ron Capps finally captured his first NHRA Funny Car World Championship in the year 2016. It was a moment that defined his career, not just because he won, but because he had waited so long and worked so hard for it. The victory was not a flash of luck. It was the result of decades of discipline, learning, and teamwork. After that first title, he never looked back. Capps continued to challenge himself and his crew, refining every part of the car, every decision, and every race strategy. He went on to win more championships, proving that his success was not temporary. It was built on foundation, courage, and respect for the sport. Fans began to see him not only as a champion, but as a symbol of endurance in a world that rewards precision over pride. The birth of Ron Capps Motorsports. After years of success on the track, Ron Capps faced a new kind of challenge, one that did not come from another racer, but from within himself. He had already achieved everything most drivers dream about: race wins, world titles, and respect from fans across the country. But deep down, he wanted something more. He wanted freedom, the freedom to build, manage, and lead his own team. That dream came true in the year 2022, when he officially launched Ron Capps Motorsports. Starting his own team was not just about putting his name on a car. It was about taking full responsibility for every decision, from tuning the engine to managing sponsorships, logistics, and crew members. He was no longer only a driver, he was now the owner, the leader, and the face of an entire racing operation. Many said it was a risky move. Running a funny car team requires enormous effort and money, and even the smallest mistake can cost millions. But Capps was never afraid of hard work. He had built his career on challenges, and this was the biggest one yet. His first season as both driver and team owner was filled with pressure. He had to learn to balance two worlds, the intense focus behind the wheel and the endless responsibilities outside it. Yet, as always, Capps approached it with calm confidence. He worked closely with his crew, engineers, and sponsors, creating a team built on trust and communication. Under the blue and yellow Napa Auto Parts colors, his Toyota GR Supra funny car roared to life, showing that Ron Capps Motorsports was not just another team, it was a statement. By the end of that debut season, he proved that his decision had been right. Capps captured another NHRA Funny Car Championship, becoming one of the few in history to win a title as both a driver and a team owner. It was a moment that redefined his legacy. He was no longer just part of the NHRA, he had become one of the forces driving its future forward. Building Ron Capps Motorsports. There comes a moment in every racer's life when crossing the finish line is not enough, when victory itself stops being the goal and legacy takes its place. For Ron Capps, that moment came after years of roaring down the strip under different team banners, winning world titles, and earning the respect of fans and rivals alike. But deep down, he wanted something more, a dream that burned louder than the engines he drove. He wanted to build something of his own. By 2021, Capps had already achieved nearly everything a driver could in the NHRA funny car class, multiple championships, over 70 career victories, and a reputation as one of the most consistent and respected racers in history. Yet despite his success, he knew that true freedom in racing came not from sitting in the driver's seat, but from holding the keys to the entire operation. He wanted control over the car, the crew, the sponsors, and the story. And so he took a leap that few in his position dared to make. At the end of 2021, after nearly 2 decades driving for Don Schumacher Racing, one of the most powerful organizations in NHRA history, Ron Capps made the bold decision to step away. He announced the formation of Ron Capps Motorsports, an independent team built from the ground up. It was a moment that shook the drag racing world. Fans admired his courage, peers respected his determination. To go from driver to owner was not just a career move, it was a declaration of faith in himself. The 2022 season marked the official debut of Ron Capps Motorsports, with his newly acquired Toyota GR Supra funny car carrying the familiar blue and yellow Napa Auto Parts colors. But behind the stunning livery and polished image was a storm of challenges. As owner and driver, Capps now had to balance two worlds, one behind the wheel and another behind the scenes. He was responsible for everything, hiring the right crew, managing budgets, securing sponsors, handling logistics, and still showing up to race with the same intensity that had made him a champion. There were sleepless nights, endless phone calls, and moments of doubt. Running a professional drag racing team is not just about horsepower, it is about leadership, trust, and relentless effort. Capps often said that stepping into team ownership gave him a deeper respect for every crew member, sponsor, and engineer who made the magic happen. But even with the weight of responsibility on his shoulders, his love for racing never faded. Then came the payoff, and it came quickly. In 2022, his very first season as a team owner, Ron Capps Motorsports did the unthinkable. Against all odds, Capps captured his third NHRA Funny Car World Championship, proving that independence and excellence can coexist. It was not just a victory, it was vindication. The new team had faced the giants of the sport and come out on top. For Capps, that championship meant more than any before. It was personal. It was proof that his belief, his work ethic, and his vision had all come together in perfect rhythm. Standing on that stage with the championship trophy in hand, the same fans who had cheered for him for decades saw something different in his eyes. Not just pride, but peace. He had done it his way. Ron Capps Motorsports quickly earned a reputation for professionalism, precision, and family-like unity. Every race weekend, fans could see Capps not only signing autographs, but also turning wrenches, joking with his crew, and leading from the front. His journey from hired driver to owner driver became a modern NHRA success story, a reminder that true champions never stop evolving. As the NHRA continued to grow, Ron Capps' name became a symbol of perseverance and reinvention. He was no longer just a driver chasing victories. He was a leader building a future. His team became a living example of what passion, integrity, and courage can achieve when they are fueled by pure dedication. And when the roar of his super funny car echoes down the drag strip, it is more than just the sound of speed, it is the heartbeat of a dream realized. Ron Capps Motorsports was not built in a boardroom or born out of luck. It was built in the fire of competition, powered by belief, and held together by one man's relentless will to keep racing, not just for himself, but for every fan who ever believed that hard work still wins. The mind behind the machine. Every great racer knows that winning is not only about power, it is about control. For Ron Capps, the true battle begins long before the green light flashes. His success is built on focus, timing, and the ability to stay calm when everything around him is exploding with noise and fire. Inside a funny car, the world becomes a blur. The vibration of the engine shakes the driver's bones, the smell of nitromethane burns the eyes, and the force of acceleration pushes the body against the seat with crushing power. Yet, through all of that chaos, Ron Capps remains steady. His secret is preparation. Before every race, he studies the track surface, the weather, and the smallest mechanical details of his Toyota GR Supra funny car. He walks the pit area quietly, talking to his crew, double-checking the tuning settings, and visualizing every moment of the run in his mind. He believes that focus is what separates the good from the great. Once the car rolls to the starting line, he blocks out the crowd, the cameras, and even his own nerves. At that point, there is only him, the car, and the light. When the light turns green, everything happens in less than 4 seconds. But to Capps, it feels like a lifetime. His reactions must be perfect, because even a blink too late could mean losing the race. Over the years, he has mastered the art of reading the car, feeling the tires, the clutch, and the engine, through instinct alone. This connection between man and machine is what makes him so consistent. He does not fight the car, he flows with it. This calm and focused approach has earned him respect from fans, fellow drivers, and even rivals. Many call him one of the most mentally strong competitors in the NHRA. For Ron Capps, racing is not just about speed, it is about rhythm, balance, and trust. He does not simply drive through fire, he becomes one with it. A legacy written in fire. Over the years, Ron Capps has become more than a name on a leaderboard. He has become a symbol of what dedication and discipline can achieve. His story is not only about championships and trophies, but about the way he changed the meaning of being a professional racer. In a sport where mistakes can be deadly and success lasts only seconds, Capps has built a career that stands tall after decades of challenges. He has won more than 75 national events and several NHRA Funny Car World Championships. Each victory tells a story of teamwork, precision, and courage. Fans remember him, not just for his victories, but for the way he carries himself, humble in triumph, calm in defeat, and always respectful to his competitors. This attitude has earned him admiration, not only from fans, but from the entire racing community. Capps has also become a bridge between tradition and innovation. He honors the spirit of the old-school racers who built the sport with their bare hands, but he also embraces modern technology and engineering. Under Ron Capps Motorsports, his Toyota GR Supra funny car has become a showcase of what the future of NHRA can look like: fast, safe, and smart. He believes that progress should never erase history, but build upon it. Beyond the racetrack, Ron Capps continues to inspire young drivers. He often speaks about patience, hard work, and respect, values that define every true champion. His journey from sweeping floors in garages to becoming a world champion and team owner proves that passion can turn any dream into reality. As flames shoot from his car's exhaust and the crowd roars with excitement, one thing is clear: Ron Capps is not just a racer, he is a storyteller, a leader, and a living part of NHRA history. His legacy is written not with ink, but with fire and speed, triumph, legacy, and respect. After decades of racing, Ron Capps stands tall as one of the most successful and respected drivers in the history of the National Hot Rod Association. With 3 world championships and 77 career victories, he has earned a place among the greatest names in the sport. His consistency on the track and his calm, collected attitude under pressure have made him a symbol of mastery in the unpredictable world of funny car racing. Legends like John Force, Robert Height and Matt Hagan have often spoken about their respect for Capps, not only as a competitor, but as a man. In a sport fueled by rivalry and danger, that kind of admiration is rare. Capps races with intensity, but carries himself with humility. He celebrates victory with his team, shares credit with his crew, and never forgets the fans who fill the stands year after year. The National Hot Rod Association itself described him best. Capps has become one of the most consistent and respected drivers in funny car history. But what truly defines Ron Capps is not only what happens on the track, it is his connection with the people who make the sport alive. In the National Hot Rod Association, every ticket is a pit pass, which means fans can walk right up to the drivers, shake hands, and see the heart of the sport up close. Capps never hides behind fame. He takes time to talk to children, sign autographs, and thank those who travel miles just to watch him race. To him, they are not just spectators, they are part of the journey. As the smoke clears and the sound of the engine fades, Ron Capps's legacy shines brighter than ever. He is a man who turned dreams into motion, who led with grace, and who never forgot where he came from. Through victory, defeat, and decades of roaring engines, he remains what every racer hopes to be, a champion of both speed and spirit. The man behind the helmet. When the race is over, and the fire from the exhaust fades, Ron Capps takes off his helmet, and the legend becomes a man again. Away from the racetrack, he is known for his humor, warmth, and down-to-earth personality. He jokes with fans, laughs with his crew, and never lets fame or success change who he truly is. In interviews and public appearances, he speaks with gratitude, always reminding people that he is just a kid from California who got lucky doing what he loves. Family has always been the quiet strength behind his roaring success. Capps often talks about how much his wife and children mean to him, and how their support has kept him grounded through the highs and lows of his career. While the track demands courage, discipline, and focus, home gives him peace and balance. He carries that sense of stability into everything he does, whether it is leading his team or meeting his fans. Capps is also deeply involved in community events and charity causes. He visits schools, attends local gatherings, and supports programs that help young racers chase their dreams. To many fans, meeting him in person is unforgettable, not because he is a world champion, but because he treats everyone with genuine respect. That is what makes him special. Behind the helmet is not just a racer, but a man who understands the true cost of passion. He knows the danger, the sacrifice, and the endless hours of preparation that racing demands. And still, he pays that price willingly. Because for Ron Capps, speed is not only about winning, it is about living fully, chasing purpose, and honoring the fire that drives him. As the lights of the track fade into the night, one truth remains. Ron Capps's story is not only about horsepower and trophies, it is about heart, humility, and the endless pursuit of perfection. The fire still burns. The night sky over the NHRA track hums with energy. Floodlights gleam off the polished body of the Toyota GR Supra funny car, its reflection alive with motion and memory. Ron Capps stands beside it, calm yet burning with focus, his gloved hands tightening the helmet strap one last time. For a brief moment, everything is still. The crowd, the lights, the noise, all fade into silence. Then the engine roars, a sound that shakes the air and stirs the soul. This is where Ron Capps belongs, between control and chaos, between fear and fire. To him, racing was never about fame or fortune. It was about chasing mastery, about standing on the edge of what is possible and daring to go faster anyway. He did not just compete, he built his own legacy, turning his passion into a purpose that reshaped modern drag racing. From countless wins to the respect of legends, Capps proved that greatness is not measured in trophies, but in the courage to keep going when the fire gets too hot to handle. And even after decades behind the wheel, his spark never dimmed, it only grew brighter. Each race, each pass down that strip, reminds the world that real champions do not fade away, they evolve. As the Supra explodes off the line, the track becomes a river of light and smoke. The crowd rises to its feet, roaring as the car disappears into the horizon. And in that blur of flame and thunder lives a truth every racing fan feels deep down. Legends like Ron Capps never stop burning, because in the world of drag racing, speed ends at the finish line, but passion never does. If this story moved you, share it with someone who still believes in chasing their dream no matter how fast life moves. And if you live for the sound of engines and the stories of those who tame them, Make sure to subscribe to Regal Rides, because here, the legends never rest and the fire always burns.